Welcome. I'm going to walk you through a quick demonstration of the Carro showroom management product. Carro means vehicle. The system I'm about to demonstrate is a showroom management system designed to help you sell more vehicles. It's all web-based and can be used on any device. It's even optimized for phones so you can work whilst away from the showroom or office. The system allows you to keep track of your customers, collect all your internet leads, manage your diary for appointments or calls, stock management. Once a customer decides they want to purchase one of your vehicles, you can stack deals, produce orders and invoices, and even send completed deals through to accounting packages like Xero and QuickBooks.
So let's get started and log into Carro to demonstrate all the great features you can have in your own showroom. I'm Mike Atkinson. I'm going to walk you through a quick demo of the Carro showroom system. Now, it's a showroom system designed for salespeople and sales managers and receptionists, anybody in the dealership to the point of sale where you can pass the sale across to your accounting system or your DMS system. So let's have a quick walkthrough and see what it can do. So if we log in, I've got two demo sites here. The look and feel of the system can be completely different. So this is our standard look and feel we give to people. So menu on the left-hand side and all the different options around the screen. Alternatively, what we can do is we can go into our sister site of the demo and go into see that all this is now a top navigation bar. So either way, it doesn't make a difference. It just means we can customize the look and feel, the shape, the size. These are colorful icons, whereas on the other site, and if we go to the same screen, under reports, we can see that they're outlined icons. It makes no difference. The whole system has been designed so that it works identical, but just a different skin, effectively. So for the purposes of demonstration, I'm going to go through this one. So here we can see on our dashboard as a manager, we've got all the new inquiries this month, all the test drives, all the sales, all the deliveries. These are all our incoming web leads over the last 24 hours. Some leads can come in via a walk-in, a telephone, internet. Anything comes into the dealership, the receptionist or the salesperson can put them on the system. Managers can monitor all the activity across the dealership. Well, if you're just a small operation, obviously it's great to have them all into one central place and you can share them out between yourselves. So in here, we've got also some warnings for the manager for overdue contacts. So the whole process is just based on a diary system. So if you comes up the customer next Tuesday, but you don't contact them next Tuesday, then it will drop into the overdue, and you can see all the customers you need to contact. And as a manager, you can also get archive requests from the salespeople as well to see if they need to be archived. So I'm looking down the list on our dashboard. We've got today's key activities. We've got a performance monitor. We also have sales days like rankings. So if we have a group situation, we can compare ourselves to different people within the group. We have our efficiency. Just going back to our web leads, we can click into those. Now, these would usually be action, but with this being a demo site, so there's a lot waiting. We get demos, certain leads from everywhere. So Auto Trader, Visitor Chat, Motors, Cargoes, any email that can come in will come in as a lead. So we can click through to our web lead. If we want to look at our web lead, we can see it in person, like as it came as an email. But this is what's been scraped out of the emails. So we've got all the customers' details, what vehicle's after, what trading they've got. Now, if there was a matching customer to this vehicle already, it would be here. So no one's inquired about this particular car just yet. But if they had, it would find up to the fact that there's another customer has already looked at that car. We can accept that lead, or we can assign that to a member of staff. Just going to go into the customer record now and look at our customers. So if we want to search for a customer, we can tag in any part or full part of the customer name. It will find everything with those words within there. If we're a manager, we can look at our different sales exec customers, and we can also look at group customers as well by just ticking these different boxes, and it searches and adds on either the dealer, the salesperson for me. So if I go into a customer record, we can see here we've got our contact information where we can send an SMS, call the number, compose an email. Or we can go into our privacy options, or we can go into the actual inquiry itself. So now we're going to enter a customer, and when we put in some basic details, you can put as much as you want in, and the more information you put in, the better the duplicate check. So as we can see, it's found lots of Mike Atkinsons and lots of phone numbers. So that was just a test I put in. But if I type in a name that hasn't been used before, and then press search, it bypasses the duplicate check because nothing's been found. And he asks us now, is it a retail customer, a small business, or are they selling their vehicle? Let's choose retail customer. It was a walk-in. Yes, it's for a vehicle we hold in stock. So again, we can do a quick search for a grey Audi A3. There it is. Click on that. Not puts that in. Okay, so we can fill in some basic details of that where they live. We can start to source of inquiry. Press continue. And that will bring it into our customer record. Now, under our customer record, we've already got our vehicle of interest, which we popped in before. We can pop up some nice imagery for the customer to view. And then we can put in a part exchange vehicle as well. So if we click on part exchange, enter our reg number for the customer's vehicle, do a VRM lookup, that will find the vehicle and the tax status and the RT status. Press yes. It also finds the factory if there's options and how much the customer paid for them when they were new. And it gives you any options that came from the factory but may or may not have been fitted to Summit. Press continue. Okay, that then goes through, and then what you can do is you can put in the service history and the mileage. And that builds up some information about the vehicle. We can ask the customer if they've got any finance agreements or any outstanding payments. We can also do a Auto Trader valuation lookup. So we enter the reg number and mileage, which it pulls through automatically, and there's the price for the vehicle. That puts that in there for our purposes. We can hide back from the customer if we want to and just put in a final price we're going to offer the customer if they want to see the screen. If we want to, we can do a full appraisal. We can go in and actually upload some images via a QR code from our phone or from the device. We can put in some information about the vehicle for scratches, etc. We can record some mechanical information, look at our additional extras, any finance information, so any bodywork, reconditioning. If we want to upload any documents at this stage, we can do, like service histories, etc. We can do all that. If you want to add information on this screen, you can do as well for uploading images of the vehicle, uploading damage of the vehicle, and uploading any documents for the vehicle. Now, all the systems actually have a full document management system as a separate product that bolts onto their system. We have it built in, so we don't charge you for storing documents. This is all part of the product. So you can upload things like warranties, insurance, historical checks, factory fit options, etc. And that will always be stored against the customer's part exchange record. That documentation will be stored there for life. So if you come back in a few years' time, you can pull that up, or if you need that for audit purposes, you can pull that back up. Under our contact history, we can see that we've added the customer today, but we want something to do with them next. So when we're going to see them next, so let's press add a note. Sorry, add a diary contact. At this point, we can have a note if we want to. We can just say, customer, can we go back next week for finance quote? Okay, we can add as a note. We can say today, the customer visited the dealership. Nothing happened today in terms of test drives and quotes, etc. But next Thursday, we're gonna see the customer. Now, if we click on that, we're not sure if we're actually busy or not, but we can check our diary. We can click up on our diary and see. We can see that we're actually quite quiet this week because it's dead last night. And previous weeks do have a lot of things on them. So we're going to choose that. We're going to select Thursday at 11:30. If we can do it that way, or we can choose it this way. We're going to book in a 2-hour time slot, and we're going to press next. So on that Thursday at 11:45, what we're going to do with the customer, well, the customer's going to come in. They're going to have a test drive, and the purpose is going to be carry out test drive in Porsche, and then press create diary entry, and that will put that into our diary. Now, as we can see here, we've got quite a busy diary already. If we go back a day, we can a couple of days, well, we've got some actual more usable data. We can see that all these customers here, these are all new inquiries that came in. These were all scheduled events that happened. So between 4 and 5, we delivered a car. I test drove and delivered a car. That's the yellow car. The red car means we sold a car. This cross in the columns we had a was sale. As you can see here, the contact people walked in. It was a sale and a delivery. So here's all of our overdue contact as well. These are the ones we should have contacted, but we didn't. Now, if our diary gets quite busy like this, we can actually hide our new inquiries, hide our completed contacts, and hide our overdue. It actually moves with nothing to do. But if we had something to do, I'm trying to find one where we've got something to do. Would it be Hedello's site? There's lots of stuff in there that's all been completed already. I think it's all been completed. But if we had one to do, it would appear in white. And if we just had this unticked to show just our non-completed contacts, then we would all have just the things we want to do today. And the salespeople can go through their whole list of people they want to contact, either at any time or during a scheduled event, sort of between 2 time periods. And they can go through and actually build up their diary and create next contacts with the customer. So the idea is that nobody ever gets lost. Even if a customer buys from us and they buy on a 36-month finance agreement, in 34 months' time, we will put them in our diary to contact them again and say, hi, Mr. Robert Greedus, are you interested in your next car? Because your finance agreement is about to run out, and you're due for a change, really. So that's how we try and build up our diary system and build it up that way. We can see that over the weeks, we can see things to do. We can actually move these around and drag them around like we can in Outlook or do you know? We can look at our month view as well to see everything we've got on. We can click on all these. We can click on different customers. We can see what we've got on. If we click on that specific event, you can see that's what the customer was after, and we can go through and see the customer record, or we can change the event. The idea is to try and keep the salespeople as organized as possible. Even hovering over the name, it shows you where they're up to with different statuses of the customer. But as a manager, you can look at all the different active prospects per customer. So here's all the customers this person's got on at the minute. So, if we look at some of their stats for these things, let me move my face down. We can click on contact history for this customer, and we can see that they've got a note and a couple of diary entries there. Again, for this customer, we can see that there's some outgoing messages. We can click on that and see what we've sent via email. We can click through to their name. We can look at different salespeople. So let's look at Joe Rigatoni. There's all his customers. And again, he can hover over and see what status they're at. And it tells you down here where they're up to. We also have an archive feature for any customers you want to pull out the loop. A nurturing feature so they can go into that pot. We also have a feature for a wanted list. So if customers want a car but they haven't actually found one, we can put them into this list and see where they're up to. We also have a feature for searching by reg number. So let's say we search for that reg number we put in before. It will search all of our group stock, all of our customer inquiries, and all of our part exchange vehicles. So anywhere in the system where that reg number appears, it will find it. So we can see that, that reg number actually belongs to a part exchange vehicle for Joseph Wangley. We go through to him, we can see his record, everything about it, everything that's there, his whole history. Here's everything that happened to him. We can hide the notes and I'll put Prima notes into the mix. And under reports, we actually have a facility under the vehicle search to search and match customers to stock. So let's say we've had this Ford Mondeo in stock for 30 days. We want to get rid of it. Let's click on this and see, right, well, all these customers here are actually 100% match. But this person here is at only 80% match. But this person here was after a Ford Focus Fiesta ST, so they're a 49% match. So they match the Ford, they match the blue, and they match the kind of petrol or diesel for score, but they don't match on the actual model. But the idea is that we can look at different stock vehicles and then we can find customers to match them. So this person here is only a 90% match. This person's an 86% match. So they're very similar. Maybe the salesperson can tell you, look, we have a Tucson 1.6, but this one's a grey one. I can see that the color of the one we've got is in stock is blue. So it's also an automatic and you have to manual, but, would you consider it? So we can try and match people that way. We can also look at any vehicle within our stock list. So, for example, that Mazda, we can look at all the details of the vehicle, the imagery. We can look at any current inquiries on it. So if we go in, we can see that actually John Smith from Harold Harrington is actually already linked to that vehicle. They've already got them as an inquiry and selected it with as a stock. So we can always look at John's record and see where he's up to see if he's actually going to buy the car. Or we can go and speak to Harold Harrington, who's the sales exec, and try and see where we're up to with things. So we can also do this by customer. So if we click on the report and go looking to purchase, that brings us this report here. We can see if everybody who's actually inquired about a vehicle but hasn't actually bought yet. So we can order that by sales exec, looking at it by vehicle. So let's look at this Audi A1, for example. And let's say Alan Smith came in to look at this vehicle. It's a 2017 Audi A1 in grey, but that's been sold. It's gone. So what have we got to give him? So if we want to say, right, well, he's after that car, let's do a stock match. Let's see what we've got. Now, we haven't got that particular vehicle, but we've got an 18 plate A1. There's also a 1.4. It's in white. He wanted grey, but it's not far off the same mileage. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's an 84% match, so it's close. And again, this one, we've got another 18 plate A1, but in white, an 82% match. So it goes down and it tries to say if the customer wanted a vehicle but is gone, let's try and see what we've got in stock or group stock and try and match them a vehicle to try and make the sale. And equally with the part exchanges, as they come in and the customer gives us their part exchange, that can be added to the stockpile. That can then be matched to customers, and we can maybe even do a double deal. We can try and put them in a car and sell their car to somebody who wanted it. Okay. There's lots and lots of reports. I won't go through them on this demo, but you can look at information occurring against how many inquiries, walk-ins, test drives were all there. We've got information about internet leads that go through, and we can look at how many leads per sales exec and by the source. And we can also see of those leads per member of staff, what's happened to them. You can look at them by individual leads and how often they were picked up and how quickly they were picked up and dealt with by the sales staff. As a member of management, you also have access to look at all the different staff's members of active prospects. You look at their overdues. You can look at their diary and look at their performance. So we can go into to Bob Jones's performance and actually click through and see that, in fact, 25% of his leads that have come in are telephone, but only 16% are web leads. So, did he need to improve in that area? How's he doing against his monthly target? And how many inquiries against sales, against test drives has he done over the last 30 days? But then we can look at our different members of staff. So I'll look at Harold, and that will change to his stats and his graph. And the same with Sammy, the salesperson. This is all dummy data, and none of it's really very good. But when you're using it in a real-world environment, you can usually gauge whether somebody is getting quite heavy on the web leads, but not dealing with the walk-ins, or they're not picking up the phone, but they're dealing with the emails. So it's very good to try and map and track things. And you can see that, they had a great start to the month, but almost they're tailed off towards the end. And why is that? Is that because they're not put the same effort in, or is that because there's not many leads coming through? So the system itself, I won't go through all of it because it's huge. We've got lots to go through. And the key really here is that for salespeople, it gives them a tool to manage their customers, manage their diary, track customers, and going through the process. For managers, it gives them full visibility of stock, salespeople reporting what's going on within the dealership. And then if you're part of a small group or a larger group, for the owners of the group, you've then got the group activity reporting, where you can look at all your different sites together and all your salespeople together and compare them all and actually see what stock vehicles we've got in and inquiries across the whole group. So it gives you the full visibility of a group reporting, and you can track everything, even remotely, because this works anywhere in the world. It's all web-based. You could be anywhere in the world, and you can still log on. There is a mobile version, there's an app version, and you can go in and actually see what's going on within your dealerships and track activity over time. Okay. There are lots of different features, as I've mentioned, which I won't go through now, but there are other videos which break those down to different areas. On those other videos, we can cover things like deal stacking. So, for example, this particular site doesn't have a deal stack on. Our system is very much like Lego bricks. See, if you want something in there, you can slot it on. If you don't want something in there, we take it out. So if I go into their sister site, I can see that here we have deals and order forms. So we can go in, stack a deal, select the vehicle if we chose more than one, put in basic information, and go through. I just move my head out of the way. Go through, and that should put in any accessories, any F&I products, and if we want to include a part exchange or not, and then we can choose our finance plans. That will go through, we can create the deal. That will then stack the deal, and we can actually change different finance plans and give different prices per month. This can link to iVendy and co-weavers. We can put in any accessories. We can put it in look at the vehicle that we're after, look at the part exchange. We can look at the manager's features, which gives us the profit. And we can then save that and then push that through to an order form. And then we can create the order form and then generate that and push that through. And that generates a order form, either with your logo at the top or some text. Here's an example order form with all the terms and conditions. If we want to add a signature to that, we can add a signature. So I'm just drawing that on my mouse, but you can do it on an iPad or a signature pad. And that will put that within the document. And then you can see that goes in to the customer's record as well. Okay. We can email that form across. We can go back to the customer record, and we can see that it's being logged under their documentation area, so they can look at that. We can fill in documents for test drives. We can fill in documents for handover sheets, surveys, service requests. We can create a to-do list. There are lots and lots of different things. We have a whole reception module as well, to all calls. Link it into your phone system so we can actually pop up with calls as well. You look at our other videos and how that's done. We can show you more detail on that. But the system is very, very big, but that's just a very quick overview and how it can help dealers sell more vehicles, whether it's cars, bikes, motorhomes, even tractors, anything really that has wheels and make, model, spec, and some sort of ID number. We can have it as a record within our system, and we can sell it. Okay, thank you for your time.